Okay, everyone, we finally hit that point, the penultimate episode of season 2. And I'm not sure if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm currently suffering from the flu and I'm as sick as a dog. But I kid you not when I say watching this episode made me feel 10 times better. I kid you not. This is one of the best episodes in the series, probably one of the best episodes in the entire Adventure Time franchise, which is no shocker because this episode was actually written and storyboarded by the legendary Rebecca Sugar herself. When I found out Rebecca Sugar would be working on this episode, I got super excited. I mean, Rebecca Sugar has always written banger episode after banger episode. I mean, she has her own banger TV show, Steven Universe, and this episode had everything you could ever want from an Adventure Time episode, from a Fiona and Cake episode, everything you could have wanted. And everything we expected from Rebecca Sugar, with a song and a beautiful fight scene and beautiful revelations and lore. Rebecca Sugar truly is one of the greatest, and this episode proved why. I mean, if anybody had any doubts about the series, I think watching this episode put those doubts to rest. There were so many revelations in this episode. As predicted, this episode kind of kicked off right as episode 8 ended, with Fiona and Huntress Wizard entering each other's minds and going through each other's backstories. And it was so sad. I mean, so incredibly sad. A lot of this episode was sad. But in the beginning of the episode, seeing that burning house, seeing Huntress as a baby, as a little child, banging on the door, worrying about saving Finn, and she was in one of the darkest moments of her life when she lost her foster parents. And it was like, that related back to how she feels about Finn and how Finn's doing and her attempts to save Finn. But then they end up going into this world where people's pent-up grief gets stored, and they meet this character, the Karmic Worm, who's explaining to them how this world works. And this is, by the way, a beautiful looking world. I mean, the animation and the art style for this world was just top tier. But this Karmic Worm character is showing Cake around, he's showing her the world, he's explaining to her what these red orbs are, why he eats them, and then he ends up pooping them out, and it actually gets recycled. So it's like people's regrets and their grief get eaten up there and then recycled to go right back to them. And it was such a philosophical thing, and I was actually very happy to see Cake join Fiona and Huntress. I kind of thought this would be just a Huntress and Fiona episode, and at the end she would go back to her world and see Cake again. But I'm so happy they included Cake into this, and we dive deeper into what Cake's been going through, which never really gets talked about, because this whole series, this whole season, and in particular this episode, we focus on Fiona. And Fiona in this episode feeling very sorry for herself. She's feeling very guilty. She's kind of moping around because of everything that's been going on with her. And Fiona kind of gets all the attention while Cake is just like there for everyone. So having Cake release those feelings of, man, she feels like a mutant, or she feels kind of odd because she can transform into anything, but basically it doesn't feel real. It was so great to watch her kind of fly around with the Karmic Worm and go through that therapy session. And Rebecca Sugar always with the banger songs. And there was a banger song in this episode. Roz Ryan, shout out to Roz Ryan. She has such a great voice and such a great singing voice. And while Cake is doing that, going through her little therapy session, we have Fiona kind of just stumbling around, and then she meets up with Fern. Fern is in this world. Fern is kind of living here, and that was pretty much a shock for me to see Fern much older, and he's guiding Fiona through all these orbs, and she can touch the orb and see into people's drama, people's trauma. And as she's touching each orb, we see her friends and all the trauma that they've been through throughout their lives. We see Gary and the fact that he always had to take care of his family. He was kind of like the caregiver for his parents and his sister, and all the stress that puts on a young person. And also we saw Marshall, and we got a little bit more of Marshall's trauma with his mother and her just tearing into him and not listening to him and making him feel so bad about himself. We also got to see a younger Fiona, and it's like Fiona was an orphan that had no parental guidance in her life. She's playing with these cats, which looks to be like an animal shelter, and the people in that scene are explaining like they don't know where she came from, they don't know who she is, and Fiona's just shedding tears, and that was such a heartbreaking scene. And even going through Fern's orbs and seeing Fern, how he was created and how basically he always felt like just a carbon copy of Finn. But I think while being in this world, he kind of realized that he's his own person and creating his own life for himself instead of being just a version of Finn that has to be exactly like Finn. And obviously that relates to the Fiona and Cake series, because literally almost all the characters in this show are trying to figure out their own way instead of just being gender bent versions, carbon copies of the characters that we know in the land of Ooh. So that sequence was very, very lore driven, which is exactly what we wanted to see, especially with only 2 episodes left. They needed to drop us with some lore and some backstory to kind of piece everything together and hit us with some new revelations as we come to find out that the Karmic Worm is actually Cosmic Owl's brother. Now, we've been theorizing who Cosmic Owl's brother can be, from Death to a whole bunch of characters throughout the Adventure Time series, and it turns out that his brother is actually this character we've never met before. And it's actually so awesome that this character is Cosmic Owl's brother, because this character was so chill, he was so laid back, but also very helpful, and it kind of shows you that he had no guilt or he had no malice towards his brother, at least not now. And he ends up meeting up with Cosmic Owl once again because he breaks one of his orbs, one of Cosmic Owl's guilt orbs, and he gets to meet up with his brother. And I kid you not, just to tell you how much this episode meant to me, when Cosmic Owl met up with his brother again, it almost made me shed a tear. I kind of got emotional. It was just, the way they framed the scene, the way they had like this conversation of forgiveness after all this time and learning to let go. And it's such a beautiful message, and I think we can all learn from that. You know, a lot of times we spent our lives being so vindictive and holding grudges, when it just feels so much better, so much easier on the heart to just let go. I also think that message was kind of ingrained into Fiona, the message of letting go, and the fact that you can make up for the mistakes of your past, the going through those orbs, seeing how Hunter felt about her missing the meeting and her seeing how all her friends were feeling. And I think it kind of clicked in Fiona's head that she made a mistake, and instead of feeling sorry for herself and just drowning and falling into a pit of despair, she's decided that she can make up for it. And when she's heading back to Ooh, she decides that that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make up for the mistakes of the past, make it up to my friends. And also, I should mention that throughout this episode, Huntress spent it fighting the witch wizard, because she sees her and she finds out that witch wizard kind of took the cure for herself, and she's deteriorating into this monster, this beast. And it was actually pretty gross and also sad to see just this greed and want for so much power to be relevant and to be powerful ended up costing her everything, turning her into this creature that has no control over herself. And of course, Huntress Wizard kicks her ass, wraps her up, and she's taking her back to Ooh, and I guess she's gonna find a new way to try to heal Finn. And we see Finn is not doing well at all in this episode. His organs are failing. Everybody's just like kind of waiting for that moment where Finn kind of croaks it, to be honest with you. But Bubblegum ends up picking up her phone and saying that she's gonna call Finn's mother. And I guess that's gonna be like this whole new thing, which is interesting that nobody thought to call Finn's mother before. You know, like her son is dying and maybe she can help. But I guess Bubblegum just wanted to figure it out herself, and better late than ever, you know, even though Finn's suffering through organ failure. Another shocking moment in this episode for me, towards the end of the episode, is when Cake decides to stay back in this world. Now, I don't know how that's gonna work. It actually felt like a closure type of moment. I mean, I really hope that we get a season 3, but the way this episode is going, it just feels like so much closure is happening that the series can end here. I mean, depending on what happens in the last episode. But Cake decided to stay back and kind of be in this world where she can be with the Karmic Worm, because she has a little bit of a crush on him, which is kind of funny because, you know, Kron is waiting for her back in her world, but I think she's finding a little bit of peace being in this world where she can transform and be herself and not have to worry about being a whole bunch of other things for a whole bunch of other people in her own world. But she does mention that she's going to stay back, but not forever, because obviously she's not going to leave her girl Fiona behind. And her, Fiona, and Huntress having that hug moment was so beautiful. Like, also so much character development for Huntress, finally able to let go of that cold, hard exterior and embrace love. And that was the biggest thing for me in this episode. Not only did we have a banger song, not only did we have banger lore reveals and great animation and great storytelling, but we had maturity. This episode felt so mature. The character development was off the charts, and I love to see it. I gotta say, this is, I don't know if it's my favorite episode of this season. It might be. You know, now that I think about it, it might be my favorite episode of this season so far, which is funny because it's the penultimate episode. So we have one more episode to even have more banger moments to happen. But I really do feel like Rebecca Sugar's influence kind of shines in this episode. It really does. Also, I did want to quickly mention that when Cosmic Owl is, I don't know if he's brought back to life or he was always alive, but the way they kind of explained it is when it comes to cosmic beings, you can't really kill them. It's more like killing of thought. So when they ended up bringing back Cosmic Owl, he was just like reformed. And he ends up going straight to the trial with Orbo. And Orbo's questioning Finn while he's in a coma, which kind of tells me that Orbo is pretty much useless. He can't tell that Finn is incapacitated and not able to answer his questions. Which is funny because you have all these cosmic beings who are supposed to be these superior beings, but they can't tell that Finn's not in the right state to be on trial. But that's the first place Cosmic Owl goes to. He quits his job as a cosmic being, finds inner peace after he made up with his brother, and pretty much saves Finn from this cosmic trial. And at the same time, saving Fiona. You see Scarab just immediately leave, like he's disappointed. But hey, what can you do? Now I want to hear what you guys have to say about this episode. Did you guys notice anything that I didn't? What was your favorite part of this jam-packed, emotional episode? Did you get almost emotional as I did? Were you guys on the same wavelength? I really feel like this episode kind of did bring out the feels. And maybe it did in you as well. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Like the video if you want more Fiona and Cake. And subscribe to keep up with the videos. And you guys take care. One more episode left. It's actually going to be so sad when this is over. I've been enjoying myself so much reviewing these episodes week by week and having these beautiful conversations with all you in the comments and all you having your amazing thoughts and noticing a lot of things that I didn't notice and letting me know about it. It's great, but take care, everyone.